UAM News takeover of Guam's favorite for containing COVID. It's proudly brought to you by IT&E, Ambrose Inc., and Calvo Enterprises, as well as our Banking 671 sponsors.
Yeah, Bank of Guam and Coast 360.
All right, 824, we're going to get Dave Delasola from the Department of Labor to give us an update and maybe clarify some of the things that the governor had said in one of the press conferences. That's coming up. Also, Catherine from the Guam Chamber of Commerce talking about the plan that they're going to give over to the governor about reopening the island in phases at 824. But I wanted to check in with Major Tom from the Salvation Army. Good morning, Major.
Good morning, Chris and Sabrina.
Good morning.
I guess if you could you want to just give us an update here on maybe some numbers. I know you shot me over some data, but what has it been like for you guys at the Salvation Army this week?
Well, for the last couple of weeks, we've been very consistent with our appointments, seeing about 20 plus a day for the appointments for people coming and receiving food. We were very consistent with that number. So right now we're seeing some numbers with, right now since the week of April 13th to the 23rd, we've seen 159 families come through. And a portion, most of those are, about 139 of those are brand new to the Salvation Army. So that's just in the last couple of weeks that we've seen. And those new numbers represent people who are affected by COVID-19 in terms of loss of hours, loss of the job because of being furloughed or whatever it might be.
139?
Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty sad. And what are they what are they telling you what they're going through?
Well, I think the stories are very compelling in terms of people just really being to the system in terms of coming to an agency like the Salvation Army for food, because typically they would be working right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so learning this new, navigating through this new way of asking for food or help, or even the grab-and-go meals that DOE is doing, this is all very new to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so what we try to do is just take the when we talk to them, is just welcome them as part of the extended family. And for some of them, we even extended prayer to them, Sabrina. We've actually prayed with them and tried to, let them know that, this is just a period of time in which they're here, but once things are reopened and they're back at work, they'll get back on their track. But we try to just do our best to comfort people as they're coming to us, and especially our new families that are coming to us that have never really been part of the social services. And so this is a new experience for them. So we try to be sympathetic to their new need, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Major Tom, I'm anticipating maybe even more of an increase because I feel like a lot of us were thinking that the stimulus checks and that federal assistance was going to be here by now. And then, this is on the heels of the governor's announcement that it's going to be weeks away. Maybe first week of May, we get our plan to pay out implemented, and then checks come in a few weeks after that. So how do you think this is going to affect the landscape of the people who are already beyond rock bottom?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time whenever if the benefits aren't kicked in by the time, the island reopens or whatever. But even if the island reopens, it's going to be done in segments. So I think that a lot of people are still going to be feeling the effect of not having hours or not having employment. And so the need for social services and these meals that have been extended into the summer, even with GTOE helping out with the grab-and-go meals, is going to be extremely helpful for a lot of families. And I think as long as people know there are services out there they can reach out to, it'll give them some comfort, even though while they're waiting for their mailboxes to be filled with checks or whether a direct deposit, whatever that might be. And so we're just going to try our best to be there for them. And so far, since all this started, we've done over 1,789 people since the beginning of the COVID response in our food delivery. So if this shows anything, it should be by the end of April that we're serving well over 2,000 people of Guam with a food bag, and so we're glad that we're able to provide the service, and that people have been very generous with the ones that do have income coming in, and so we're grateful that we have the partners we do, because our food bank is only as good as those donations monetarily or canned food deliveries.
So where are you with your food bank in terms of supplies and being able to continue providing these services to people that desperately need it?
Yeah, well, I sent Chris some pictures yesterday of our warehouse. We're depleting it. We do have some pallets of things that have come in, rice that have been broken down into family-sized bags, and then we've got canned food items, and even our farm-to-table folks have been donating eggplant to us, which is great because we're actually able to give fresh vegetables out with the canned stuff. So we're depleting a lot of that. So a lot of the wholesale vendors out there have been generous in donating those things, and we can always use that. We can always use more of those canned food items, from vegetables to fruit to meat to a variety of things that can make up a meal for a family. Pasta sauce, those kind of things. Mac and cheese for the kids, of course, right? You're going to have that, and peanut butter and that kind of thing. So anything that we can use to add to those food bags to help a family out. This is really where we're at. So if we are at the end of April and we're facing 2,000, we're really going to need to step up our donation efforts, and also our canned food collection to keep our food bank stocked up to get through the next to the end of May, perhaps even.
How important are these? I mean, it's kind of a stupid question, but these donations, how important have they been? Because when I talked to you a couple weeks ago, you had told me something that really just resonated with so many middle-class working people that I talked to, in that you said that the middle-class working families on Guam are the ones who donate to Salvation Army. They're the ones that hold up the Salvation Army programs with the support that they give. And now you're seeing that these same people who, recognize the great need are now in need.
Yeah, that's true. And even in the States, when we served Salvation Army officers in the States, it's always been the case where middle-class workers or hardworking people are the ones that support the Salvation Army. And so we appreciate, their support over the years. And at this period of time where they're now on that receiving end of that, we just want to be consistent with our appointments and helping them out the best we can. Like I was saying, if we're seeing 131 people, or 100, if we're seeing 100 plus every 2 weeks, then half of those, the majority of those, are new people, which would be the hard-working people that would be at our fundraisers this time of year, or stopping by a Red Kettle or whatever it might be to support the Salvation Army. And so we're grateful for the years of partnering with us. And now this is just a period of time where they're on the receiving end of that blessing that they've blessed us with so many years.
Major Tom, I had a question regarding has the government ever reached out to the Salvation Army, maybe to find out what the numbers are and how they've increased, or how they can perhaps partner with the Salvation Army or provide any sort of assistance?
Because we've got non-essential employees, or like what Sabrina said.
Right. Well, we've been blessed by GDOE giving us some commodities that they've been able to have in their warehouse that we've been able to utilize in small amounts. Obviously, they get the bigger portion, and it's understandably so with the amount of food that they are giving out. But they've been generous with us to give us canned food, a variety of canned food to make up, a bag a uniform bag for families to come in and get. We've also been trying to work with our Homeland Security through the FEMA, going through that. We're right now working through that to see if that's a possibility for us to receive, whether that's a purchase order or a food donation of some kind that we could utilize from them. So we're trying to hit up all the avenues to the government that we can, as well as our local vendors that can donate. And so that's really been our avenues of food support so far.
Okay, so but they've never said, hey, this might be a way that we can help you, or anybody from the governor's office contact Salvation Army?
Not at this point, no. No.
Well, you guys were recognized as a COVID hero, so you guys are doing a good job.
We're glad that we're recognized. I'm actually really proud of our team, Sabrina. I think and I'm sure you guys are the same way. You've been putting in long hours, and our crew at the Salvation Army, at the Lighthouse, at the Family Service Center, and all the places, they've been putting in long hours and really, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make sure their local residents are taken care of. And so really, to be called that a COVID hero by the governor really is for our team. It's reflecting.
What would you rather have, though, Major Tom? You get called a COVID hero, or you get some help? Maybe they give you guys some, staffers to help you distribute stuff, or?
Well, right now we'll take both. We'll take both. We appreciate the praise coming from our leaders, and but anytime we receive help from these guys in any way, is always, we're grateful for that support.
So let's get it out here, Major Tom, because I know they're listening. What kind of help would you want? What kind of help do you need from the government of Guam?
Well, obviously, like I said, the food donations are big. If there are people who are wanting to volunteer, we got to schedule them in because we obviously, with social distancing, can't have a whole lot of people in the building. And so once they call in or email us through our Facebook page, we can very much kind of get them in to help either fill food bags or help distribute them as people come for their appointments. And those kind of things. So really, it's a limited amount of volunteers we can have in the building, so that we can keep everybody, in good distance with each other. So there are opportunities to give back, and we just got to schedule them in the right way. Mm-hmm. So I would go through our Salvation Army Guam Facebook page, and message us to see what availability there are for volunteer opportunities. If the government of Guam wants to help out, send people over, that kind of thing.
What about we spoke with Ray Tapasnia from Gora yesterday, and he was talking about how they're looking to get caterers for this homeless temporary shelter down at Paseo. Was Salvation Army contacted to assist?
We've been brought into some of those conversations, but we haven't been able to really put anything in concrete because a lot of that is prepared meals that they need for those folks. And so while we're doing food bags,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have the capability of producing mass hot meals at this point. But I think if we'll support the best we can our homeless individuals, seeking shelter if that opens up.
Okay.
All right, Major Tom, anything last you want to add here as we head into the weekend? You guys do services on the weekends?
I just want to say, as I always have to throw in a spiritual twist here, is just that, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7 says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. So I know there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of things going on in our island right now, but even in uncertainty with government or whatever it might be, we can always seek out God and cast our anxieties on him, on our Lord, and let him lead us through this time. And we'll come out of this better and stronger because we put our faith in the right person.
I think you're right. If there's anybody in this universe who can handle all the anxiety, the stress, the fear, the uncertainty that we all have here on this island of Guam, it would definitely be the man upstairs, Major Tom.
Absolutely. Just keep praying and keep pushing forward, and God knows. So, yeah.
Thank you, Major Tom, and thank you for all that you do. You are COVID heroes to us, too. So appreciate
Thank you. God bless you guys. Have a good one.
God bless you. God bless Guam, and wash your hands.
Be safe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Major Tom. Okay. 8:38.